Welcome to Doghouse Racing League's Auto Pros Truck Series. We are live from the virtual Nashville Speedway, a 1.33 mile D shaped concrete oval. And we are looking at tonight, we have 113 laps of racing. And looks to me like, we have about 5 minutes left in practice. Then we'll go into 2 laps of qualifying. This season has been pretty much dominated. Jonathan Jennings. Uh, so we'll see tonight if there's anybody that can step up and kind of give him some competition. Last week was a little bit tighter than usual, which we were not able to broadcast last week. So we're back at it this week and look forward to calling this race. Jamie, what are you seeing for the race tonight?
Yeah, it's 113 laps. Stages are going to end at the end of lap 29 and 57. I don't exactly know what the fuel strategy will be. I haven't had the opportunity to run any laps this week, but I'd say should be able to make it to the end of stage one without pitting. But this track is good at eating up your tires, so you're gonna have to manage tires as we talk about every week, and how do you manage your tires and stay fast? That's what you got to figure out.
Oh yeah, for sure. I did a little bit of testing just to kind of see what the track was like, and realistically, it'd be really tight, but you could make it on one stop probably tonight. But it would be really, really tight. But like you said, tires is a totally different story. There's just no way you're going to probably be able to make it to halfway on tires and not lose a significant amount of time to where I think it'd be almost be to the point, and I could be wrong, but to where a two-star strategy would definitely overcome a one-tire strategy, especially a one-stop strategy. Excuse me, especially if we wind up going, just all the way green. So if we go caution-free, it'll be a totally different game, and we may see the strategies split up there a little bit. So it'll be interesting to as we go through this race to see exactly what people are doing.
Yeah, and looks like unless you remember, I don't remember BJ Hall being in the truck series so far this season. So we got a newcomer that's sitting in third right now in practice. So maybe somebody we need to watch out for.
Yeah, definitely. I don't remember if he was there last week or not. I thought he might be, but I think Clay Wood was there last week. But either way, this would be no more than their second start, if that. So I think you know we've got some new names in here. Um, we've got some that can't race every race, like Tyler Millette. He's in tonight, where he can usually race only about every other week due to work schedule. So we know that he can he's a really good driver, really consistent driver. Then a couple we just don't know about. So let's see how it plays out. But looking at lap times now, you got Jonathan Jennings, of course, right there up at the top, and Mike Leftwich. He's hasn't really. We're waiting on another pole from him, I guess. I think he's got another one in him, but he started out the season really hot. Uh, well, hadn't been able to do that, I don't think, since. But tonight, it looks like he may have the speed to jump up there and set on the pole.
Yeah, and like I said at the beginning of the season, he was. You know, we didn't think anybody was going to be able to outdo him at any point. The way he was getting the pole every week, and like I say, he's sitting with a good time so far tonight. I know he puts in a lot of practice for qualifying, so he can get a good starting position. So hopefully we see him snag another pole for the season.
Yeah, for sure. Just so I know some people that normally watch every week. We'll just let them know. Last week, Jonathan Jennings did get another win. Chris Leftwich finished second. Chuck Sweeting third. Steve Gerber fourth. Mark Dumont was fifth. Justin McMahon sixth. I finished 7th. Actually got to race last week, and Mike Leftwich was 8th, Richard Leclerc 9th, and yeah, BJ Hall did race last week, and he was 10th. So he has one race with us. So definitely, looking at things. I mean, you've got, again, Jonathan Jennings has got 7 wins this year. If you look at, Kevin Powell got 1 win. Seth Fitzpatrick had 1 win that he came in and raced. Besides that, it's pretty much been all Jonathan. But we've had several that run really good. I mean, you're looking at Chuck Sweeting and Chris Leftwich, Steve Gerber, Christopher Simon has been very, very consistent this year. Um, so and when you get into that second and third place points, definitely tightens up a little bit more. So I think we got that to look forward to, and then of course the drop races are going to start hitting later in the season, and the points are going to shift around a little bit.
Yeah, and that's going to make it interesting, and just had the points pulled up. Like you said, second, third, even fourth, I think, right there around each other. It's going to be hard for anybody to make up near 200-point deficit, I think, to the leader. But I think we're going to have a tight battle between probably maybe even second through fifth for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think so. Looks like we just finished practice, and it's coming to an end here, and we're going to head to qualifying.
And it looks like BJ Hall is going to be the first one to pull it out on track. Coming around, going to take the green flag for his lap. Let's see where he slides in at.
Starting to get a few times in here. It's like right now we got Kenneth Byers at the top of the board, Justin McMahon. Jonathan Jennings just went to the top with a 29.683.
Well, that's going to be faster than his fastest practice lap.
It is. It's about half a tenth faster than his practice lap. So yeah, a really good time there. Justin McMahon just got a little bit better time. He went to a 7:39, which is also faster than his practice lap. So the track definitely is starting to cool off. Track temps are at 77 degrees. So I think we're going to see speed starting to pick up.
Might look like he got a little loose on his final lap. Wasn't able to gain the time he was looking for, but still fifth place, a good qualifying effort.
No, definitely is. Yeah, fourth and fifth, putting down almost the exact same time there. And Chris Leftwich not far behind him. So a really tight group of times here. If you look, especially between, I'd say third and eighth place is pretty tight.
Yeah, it is. See where Steve Gerber can place himself. He's been really quick this season in the trucks. Move up into that fifth position.
Yeah, it's a good time there, 8:21. I mean, he was a 9:85 in practice, so he, what is that, tenth and a half? It's a pretty good pickup right there from his fast time. But as you know, this track is all about can be tire conservation, especially if we get a lot of long runs. So, they do have their 3 sets of tires tonight in the pits. They're probably going to want every one of them if they get a chance. But we'll see how it all plays out for these guys and see if anybody can have anything left on their tires to save enough to where they can actually make some gains as the run comes to an end. So again, we have our, your stages as well. That's going to mean pit strategy on, what actual stages, how do you set yourself up for the end of that stage. That's going to be huge. Right now, I believe it's end of 29 and end of lap 57 would be your stages.
Looks like all the drivers are qualified at this point. Just waiting to set the grid and get ready to get this race moving. Switched over here and pull up our starting grid and Dan, you wanna start off reading it off for us?
Yeah. We've got Jonathan Jennings on the pole, Justin McMahon second, Christopher Simon third, Jason Ross fourth, Steve Gerber is fifth, Kenneth Byers sixth, and Mike Leftwich, Chris Leftwich, Tyler Mollett, and BJ Hall rounds out the top 10.
And then 11th, we'll have Chuck Sweeting. 12th will be Clay Wood. And starting lucky 13 will be Gary Armijo. I guess before we get going, might be a good time for us to go ahead and pick our winners for tonight.
Yeah, I think so. Well, you took him last time, so I'm taking him this time. Jonathan Jennings, I believe you took last time. I'm taking Jonathan to get his 8th win of the season here at Nashville Superspeedway.
And I'm going to go with Justin McMahon. I think if there's somebody out here that can give Jonathan a good run for his money tonight, it's going to be Justin.
Yep, I agree. All right, so we've got Jonathan Jennings with Justin McMahon on his outside. I can tell you Justin's going to want this lead to begin with, so be interesting to see how that high line goes. It can be good through 1 and 2, not as good through 3 and 4. So let's see.
Good jump by Justin. A lot of the outside lane just didn't get going good.
No, it really didn't, especially when you got back to Jason Ross. He really didn't get a good start there. Mike looked at on the inside of him and thought about making it 3 wide, but didn't, and backed out of it, which is probably a good move. You got 2 wide, as you can see. Got Mike Leftwich now going under the 99 truck. He's going to squeeze up in front of the 99. Then we got the 8 that is going under Jason Ross here, trying to grab that fourth position, but looks like Jason's committed to hold him off. Jonathan has jumped out to a little bit of a lead there.
Yeah,
So kind of single file.
Oh, go ahead.
It looks like they single filed out for the first 5 or 6, and then it's double file behind that. Looks like they're kind of starting to string it out a little bit.
Got the Chris Lepper's looking under Mike. It slides up a little bit. So it's going to allow the 99 of Kenneth Byers to try to make a run, but wasn't able to get it completed going into 3.
Yeah, I mean, pretty good little battle back here also between Gerber and Christopher Simon. Simon seems to be doing okay holding his own in that middle lane there. He seems to get a little bit of a good run off compared to some of these other guys. So we'll see. You know what? I don't know what that'll do to the tires there if he stays up there a little bit too long, which you don't really have a choice right now. Looks like he's gonna back out and fall in line on the bottom there behind Steve Gerber, which is probably a really good idea right now. We know Simon is usually pretty good on the long run, so I think he'll be just fine dropping in line here and just watching his stuff.
Yeah, it's a long race, so no need to go up and burn it off in the first 5 laps of the race. Just kind of fall in line, ride around, and be there towards the end of that stage so you can get some good stage points.
No, yeah, definitely. I agree with that. Got K Doggy in there saying Happy Mother's Day to everyone in the chat. Yeah, definitely. Happy Mother's Day to all. And any mothers listening, happy Mother's Day and thank you for joining us. And then Sheila Moulette said good luck, number 94.
Yeah, Tyler's been doing really good in the trucks. I think he's had some bad luck with a couple of races, but we'd love to see him get that 94 back in the victory lane for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a driver that can do it. He is really good. Unfortunately, he's not able with his work schedule to participate any series regularly. So he's kind of has to race one week, and he's in another series the next week, and then back again. So it's really tough when you're just jumping in and out of a truck into trucking cars every other week. But he really does a good job with that, and I think right now you're seeing him just manage those tires and kind of started towards the back, and you can see he's right on this group of cars. So he's definitely got the pace, and I think he's just waiting his turn to make a pass here.
Yeah, we'll do a ride along inside his truck for a lap and see what he's seeing. Doing a good job staying right on that yellow line in the corners.
You do catch a little draft on the back stretch here, which can help a lot. It's just 3 and 4, especially as the run goes. And I don't know about these guys, but when I race here, that wall off of turn 4 is not nice to me. Sometimes if the car starts pushing as the tires start wearing out.
Yeah, I do okay in the next gen series here, but for some reason in the trucks here I struggle with tire wear and like you said, I'm good at finding that wall coming off the corners. adjustment man is not letting Jonathan get too far away.
We just had Mike Leftwich just spun up and hit the wall. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but no caution is called. Which I don't think. I think it was just. I don't know if that was something. If he got booted out of the way, but I guess we'll figure it out.
Let's see.
I just got loose. Yeah, just loose. I see, trucks. We've been here, I think, 3 times in the league, and it looks like, look down through here. I see Jonathan Jennings has a win here. And somebody named Jamie Horn has a win here. I don't remember. Do you remember that?
I do not, actually.
Yeah, you do. So, yeah, and I can't really tell. Let's see who's got the 3rd win. Actually, I definitely don't have a clue who got that 3rd win. So I guess it's a person that hasn't raced very much at all. But if you start looking at some of the average finish here and things, it's if you go down and you've raced one time, Tyler's raced one time, that's like 1st and 2nd. But if you go down to people that's actually raced multiple times, like Christopher Simon is probably, from somebody that's had all 3 starts, Christopher Simon has average finish of 6th here. So he would be the driver that has the best average finish here of somebody that's raced all the league races here in trucks. So pretty neat. It seems like a track that Simon would be pretty good at.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I want to say Simon might have finished second the time I did win here. I really don't remember that race, but
Yeah, he's definitely got some good finishes here, and I think he's gonna be somebody to watch on this long run.
yeah, one thing I've noticed is he takes it easy on the first half of a run, which is really smart, and then towards the end he starts working his way back up, and usually ends up getting really good finishes towards the end of a race. So I think he'll be somebody to watch out for sure.
So the field seems to be pretty strung out here now. I mean, there is some, not that there's no battles, but looks like was that Mike that's
Yeah,
falling way back?
I think he might have got a little bit of damage on that incident.
Yeah, I think so. I want to right now, real quick, give a shout out to Auto Pros for being our series sponsor. It's your full service auto center in Roxborough, North Carolina. They specialize in foreign and domestic transmission repair, but can also handle all of your everyday auto needs. ASE certified technicians are standing by to help you in your time of need. Call 336-322-3230 if you're in the Roxborough, North Carolina area and you need auto service done. And we're seeing the Group 6 truck here, Justin McMahon, as he's trying to hold off. Looks like Jason Ross is looking to make that pass on Justin and take over the 2nd position. Really good run by Jason Ross so far during this race. So wondering if Justin is saving these tires or if he may have put a little too much wear on them trying to keep up with Jonathan.
Yeah, and Jason Ross is somebody that last several weeks I think has made some good improvements and has started becoming a front runner week in, week out.
Yeah, it seems like something always winds up getting him sometime during the race. Sometimes out of his control, but hopefully it looks like. I mean, he's got the pace. Looks like tonight to possibly be a contender up there for a good solid finish, if not a podium. So let's see. Hopefully keeps his car stays clean all night, and he can just run a good, uneventful race.
Looks like Chris Leftwich is trying to work over Steve Gerber for the fifth position. So he's going to get it done here. Oh, got in the wall a little bit. Make contact. As Jonathan Smith would say, he earned the John Deere Award. Look like they're going to be able to keep going.
Did somebody call caution? Okay.
Jonathan Jennings been able to stretch it out to a 2.5 second lead now. About 5 laps away from the end of stage 1, and then I think you'll start seeing pit stops soon after. Got a good battle shaping up between Chuck Sweeting, Kenneth Byers, and Chris Leftwich starting to work his way up into this battle. So we're going to have a 3-way battle for the 5th position here soon.
Yeah, it definitely looks like Chris is easing on up there. He's gonna get into again, he's fell back a little bit, but he's gonna go in there for Chuck Sweeting and also the 99 of Kenneth Byers. As Jonathan Jennings is now up to a 2.7 second lead out in front of the field. Just to kind of give an update on that, but this is the best battle on the track.
It looks like Chris has done a good job saving his tires at the beginning of that run. He's been reeling everybody in pretty quickly, even with that slide through the grass a minute ago. Chuck Sweeting gonna fight back on the inside. Not gonna make this pass easy for Chris.
No.
But Chris had a better run off. He's gonna take that position and move up into 6th place. I haven't talked about Gary Armijo tonight. He's running the 11th position right now, just taking it easy, having a good run so far.
Yeah, just staying out of trouble, and a lot of times that can wind up with a good finish, depending on how the race plays out in front of you with wrecks and whatever. But yeah, definitely just knowing Gary, he should be he's probably gonna start passing some of these guys as he's saves tires. I mean, he's in the back. Hasn't been pushing the truck any, so I have a feeling he's gonna start passing a few of these cars, because if you really look, he's got 3 or 4 trucks. It's just ahead of him that he should be able to overtake before they need to pit.
If he can pass one more, he'll be able to earn himself some stage points. He's got about a half a lap to do it. Jonathan Jennings is going to take the stage 1 win. Jason Ross is going to get 2nd place in the stage. Justin McMahon 3rd. Christopher Simon 4th. Kenneth Byers 5th. Chris Leftwich 6th. Chuck Sweeting 7th. Tyler Millette, BJ Hall, and Steve Gerber round out your top 10 in stage points for stage 1.
Yep, stage 1. So here's the question now: when do these guys pit? I mean, you get to about what? I'm not, no mathematician by no means, but I think about 34, would be splitting it. If I don't know, actually, 34, or 37, 38. I'm sorry. Yeah, about 37 or 38 would be splitting it. So let's, I'm kind of curious where they would, where are they going to start, pitting at? Some going to pit a little early just to try to gain some of that track position or some time that they might have lost during this run and be able to gain a little bit back and hope that a caution comes at some point after the pit cycle to where you can wind up gaining a few positions.
Yeah, I think if it were me, I'd probably try to split it and probably somewhere around lap to like you said 34, 35. Especially if I'm sitting far back and you're gonna have to do something different to try to make up some time. So I'd probably go ahead and go get some fresh Goodyears and try to see if I can make up some time.
Yeah, because realistically, I think you can make it about 58 laps on a tank here. So again, some people might do it. I mean, somebody like Jonathan Jennings, that's got a 3-second lead, and again, he hasn't pulled out too far on these guys yet. But somebody like Jonathan, who's really good at saving tires. Christopher Simon, again, really good at tire conservation, seems to be. Chuck Sweeting, we know, is as well. So some of these guys, will they go to split it halfway? But then, somebody like Chuck Sweeting that's back to in 7th place, I mean, you're not going to win just following the leader either. So you got to do something different. So, maybe pit a little early and make it a 2-stop race and hope that works out. Now, some of these guys has probably done the math a little bit. That's, to know, okay, how much time will they lose pitting one extra time versus, and how much, they can gain back compared to, what they would do just halfway. So, again, we don't have that in front of us right now. So, we don't know exactly what some of these guys are thinking, but that's some math that I'm sure a couple of them's done.
Yeah, and you got to kind of think about when you're out there the smaller field tonight, so cautions are probably going to be less likely. Not that one can't happen, but you got to think about all of that into your strategy when you're going to pit and how you're going to play this.
Yeah, we got our first person pitting in here. We got Justin McMahon. Looks like I think Tyler Mollett is following him down pit road. Then we have another one right behind him. I can't tell who that is right now.
Looks like Gary Armijo. It looks like all the LPR teammates are going to come down together.
Yep, exactly. Loud Pedal Racing on pit road. And so they have worked it out ahead of time and said lap 37, which is, right about splitting exactly into third. So we know they said, okay, we're going to do the 2-stop strategy. So let's see if anybody else follows. I think some will. Or is some of these guys thinking, let's just do one?
It'd be interesting to see the difference of lap times and what they're able to gain back once they get back on the track and get back up to speed.
Yeah, so Jonathan's running 31.253 right now. So yeah, we'll see when they get back on the track exactly what they're going to be running. So looking at 31.2, and we'll see. I'm thinking they're going to be somewhere in the mid 30s. So I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be a huge difference, but it will be some. Well, in the chat, rooting for Christopher Simon. They want to see a podium for Mother's Day, so I think he's got a good chance. I really do. I think he's got a really good chance at a podium.
Oh, absolutely. He's sitting in third place right now, so.
Well, Justin McMahon just ran a 29.898. I mean, that is getting it. So he's, over a second faster. Now, how long the tires will last? Then he ran a 30.1. So, they're running about a second to 1.2 seconds a lap faster. Now, that won't last forever, but you would think their fall off will happen. But who knows, how much and when compared to these other guys. But I'm really starting to think a lot of these, a lot of this field's probably going to just try that one stop. It just seems that way. I would think they would probably be pitted by now, but who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, it's looking like Justin, Tyler, and Gary, and then Mike are the only ones that's pitted right now. Is that right? And
Yeah,
maybe
that's it.
Claywood.
I think they are the only ones that have pitted, and I think Clay Wood, I think he's pitted. Um, so what this could do is set them up. I have to look at it, but there's a chance that this could help them as far as stage wise goes. So let's see kind of how it plays out with the stage ending at the end of 57. That's right there, just past halfway. So I mean, these guys that's doing one stop, they're going to have to make it to at least 57. So maybe you would think that they can at least work their way around some of these guys and gain some positions, but I don't think they can make it all the way around to pass Jonathan at that point, because they'd have to pass him twice basically, and I think need a lot more laps to do that. But overall, I think it just looking at the time difference right now, it might wind up okay for them. Again, you're not gonna beat beat the leader by just mirroring what he's doing.
No, you have to do something a little bit different. I mean, I like the call. They do need to, try to get their lap back as quick as they can, but not burn your tires off at the same time.
Yeah, they're about 9 seconds behind Jonathan still to get that lap back, and I'm kind of curious. By the time they get there, I have a feeling their tires are going to be pretty worn down.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, that's another issue. And how far, some of these tire sets, it seems that once you get to a point, they really don't fall off. I mean, Jonathan's running 31.3s, like you said earlier when they pitted, it was 31.2. So he's not falling off very fast. And again, a lot of times these tires, once you get to a certain point, they kind of level out. So, I mean, you look at Justin ran a 30.7. Again, he's already fallen off about 7/10. Kind of, so, he's only 6/10 a lap faster than Jonathan. So at that rate, it's going to be really tough to get his lap back before Jonathan pits. In fact, I don't know if he will get his lap back before Jonathan pits.
Yeah, and the last thing, the rest of them, Justin sitting in an okay position, he'd get lucky dog. But if a caution was to come out, Tyler and Gary, it would really hurt them the most if they were not able to get that lap back before caution, before Jonathan was to pit, or the leaders.
Yeah, I mean, they'd have to take the wave around on pretty old tires at this point. And then if that's the case, then again, they can't pit, right? You wave around, you can't pit. You're on old tires. That's just not going to be the best thing.
We're just not going to use the C word. Maybe we won't talk one up.
No, I kind of wouldn't mind seeing it go caution free here. A lot of these guys, you got Tyler, Justin, and Gary who does not want a caution right now. Um, and Jonathan doesn't want a caution right now. I think some of the other ones may want a caution. It wouldn't bother them. Because again, this field is pretty strung out at this point.
Jonathan sitting at a almost 5.5 second lead over second place Jason Ross. It's, like I said earlier, I'm impressed with Jason with his run, sitting in second place and drove his way up through second and has been able to hold it. Clay Wood has been able to get one of his laps back, so he's now only one lap down.
Yeah, he went out on Jonathan just a couple laps ago. I mean, I'm just kind of looking at this, and Jonathan's crossed the start and finish line now. Justin's coming out of turn 4. Tyler's right behind Justin. Gary's now going into turn 4. So, I'd say about a quarter of a track between the leader and the guys that pitted. So
we're getting close to the end of stage 2, so it looks like your top 7's going to stay out until the end of the stage, and I would imagine pretty shortly after they would come in and pit.
Yeah. I mean, they've got to pit. I think they take they'll pit probably at the end of 58. I mean, you go to the end of 57, get your stage points. End of 58, then you pit. As Justin just worked around second place, and now he's probably got Jonathan in sight for his lap back, but he will not catch him before Jonathan pits. But I mean, Justin and Tyler should be first and second after the pit stops. Now they will get gobbled up pretty quickly, but it won't be long after that before they will make their final pit stop of the race. Somewhere around lap 74 probably, or so. And then we'll really start seeing how that strategy, works out for them.
Last lap of your stage. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Danny.
No, go ahead. No, last lap of the stage. Yeah. It's, I tell you, 7.5 second lead for Jonathan. So.
Gonna pick up the win for stage 2.
Well, Jason Ross decides he's going to pit before the end of the stage. I don't know if he meant to do that or not.
Don't give up good stage points. He would have had 9 stage points.
Yeah, I wonder if he saw the lap 57 come up and said, okay, I can pit now. But no, you needed to wait to the end of it. So
Jonathan's pulling it in now.
Yeah, exactly. About 58, you pit in and you get your stage points, and you call it good. I mean, Jonathan's got 20 stage points now. He's looking again to maximize points for the race.
So Chuck Sweeney's gonna stay out for an extra lap, get those points for leading the lap, and I would imagine you'll see him come down this lap.
Yeah, he will. He'll come down. It's good. Get him that 1 point, and that always can come in handy.
He's gonna stay out another lap.
Oh, okay. He may, which I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. He may see something that I don't. He may be waiting on hoping for a caution. Oh, he said he's going to pit in now. So I guess stay out a little bit and hope that somebody wrecks coming on or off pit road. You just never know. That's a time where one could come out.
But once Sweeting and BJ Hall pits, that's going to turn the lead over to Justin McMahon.
Yeah. Justin will have a lead after this. I don't think he'll have it for long. But again, they're only about 14 laps, 14, 15 laps before when they're going to pit again. So again, the longer he can hang on to that lead, the better off he'll be when he pits. And and the field's so strung out now, there's probably not going to be a caution. So it is what it is. I mean, you made your bed, going to lay in it. Let's run. They're going to run. Overall, they're going to be faster, but their time on pit road's going to be more. So, I think that definitely that could, looking at the times, I mean, that could come around and get them, around the top 5 possibly. Just the way this field's strung out now.
Yeah, I like the call. I mean, like we said earlier, you had to do something different. And you never know what's going to happen. I mean, it may play into their favor.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure.
BJ Hall's bringing it in now, so that's going to put Justin McMahon, your leader, with Tyler Millette in second.
Yeah, we'll see kind of how things, where it kind of shakes out at the start and finish line here. But, how far behind. Jonathan's about 4 seconds or so behind, about seconds. He's about to pass Tyler. So he'll go ahead and drop back up to third. But he's got about 3 more seconds to go until he gets to Justin, and that's probably going to take him about 3 laps. Just looking at the times. Jonathan last lap ran a 30.4. Justin last lap ran almost right at a 31. So, Jonathan I know Jonathan can go faster right now, but he's also knows that he's got to make it to the end of the race on these tires.
Yeah, let's see. McMahon get a little bit tight coming out of turn 2 back there. Just brushed the wall a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. He just he did get a little tight there.
I think we might have a visitor in our chat.
I think so.
Bill, you got us?
Got us, Bill?
Yeah, I do got y'all. How we all?
Good, man. Just sitting here calling this race, calling the truck race here at Nashville, and just kind of looking at these different pit strategies here. You got got the Loud Pedal Racing team on the 2-stop strategy, and everybody else on the 1-stop. So we're going to kind of see how it plays out here at the end.
Good deal. Well, I just tuned in to see how you guys are doing and everything, and sorry I'm not there to participate tonight. It's good to see everybody. It's always good to see Jamie Horn's face on screen there too.
If I had known you was coming in, I'd have hid my face.
But, well, y'all are doing an outstanding job, guys. And I just wanted to step in for just a minute and tell y'all hello.
Glad to hear from you, Bill.
Yes.
And I look forward to having you back with us soon.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it a whole lot. I'm glad to still be here, and look forward to getting back when I can. So you guys, great evening and everything, man. And like I say, I appreciate everything y'all do.
And you've always got a spot in this broadcast booth. Remember that. So you're welcome to jump in anytime.
Yes,
sir. Yes, sir. Look, y'all have a great evening, guys. Keep up the good work, and keep those Loud Pedal guys going straight if you can.
We'll try. We'll try. It's not easy, but we'll try.
All right.
Have a good night, Bill.
Y'all have a good. All right.
We got Jonathan Jennings gonna take back over the lead from Justin McMahon. Now it gets interesting. Now, how long is Justin going to stay out before he goes in and pits?
I think he's going to probably at least have to stay out 6 more laps. I mean, if you want to split it in the thirds, he don't have to. I mean, he can make it to the end anytime. So, you know, my opinion, this is just my thought here. The sooner you pit, the longer you're going to be on these tires, but the new set. But if you get lucky and these leaders run, I mean, they run long enough and you can get your lap back, you know, you can definitely maybe make up some time, but who knows? You know, again, this field is just so strung out right now. And, you know, Justin, if you really look at it, I mean, he's still 10 seconds ahead of 5th place, or 9 seconds ahead of 5th place. So he's got a pretty good little lead here. That he's got a good possibility that this could work out pretty good, you know, if he can hold out a couple more laps and then pit and get those fresh tires. I think he's got a chance of being able to come on around and maybe get a decent finish.
Yeah.
Especially if those cautions will, you know, fly just right. You know, I've had a few guys, you know, Chris Leftwich has called it a night. We've got Kenneth Byers has called it a night. So, you know, a couple guys the more guys that just drop out here, the less chance they're going to see that caution, though.
Yeah. Simon moving back into the 4th place position. Got a hard charge and Chuck Switting right on his tail, though.
Yeah, you know, Chuck stayed out those last couple of laps, which lost him a little time, but he's got a little bit fresher tires than these guys now. So, you know, he's gonna, you know, charge back up, and, you know, looks like that, you know, he can right now, you know, get into that 4th position, and they're both catching Justin McMahon and Jason Ross. So, you know, this to me could be the fight for the final spot on the podium, unless they can run down Jason Ross, who has a pretty good lead. And again, Justin's still up there, but he's got to pit again. Justin's in a little better shape than these other guys, though. That's on the two-stop strategy. I mean, he's about 7 or 8 seconds ahead of Tyler on the track, and, you know, he's another probably 12 seconds or so ahead of Gary. So out of all of about out of caution there, came really close. So the 75 and 21 touched on the track.
So, still battling each other hard.
Yeah, they are. Like I said, this is the, you know, good chance. This is the podium here, and you know, right now the tires are going to start wearing down here soon. Chuck has a few laps fresher tires, so he knows, I think, that if he can get around Chris, the sooner the better for him. If not, it's going to be difficult the longer this run goes.
All right. So lap 76, your loud pedal guys are coming back in.
Yep. Looks like we got four on pit road, and we'll see how this plays out at this point. Yeah. Chuck is trying to find any way possible around Chris. Looks like he may have a little bit of a run now on him to the inside as they cross the start and finish line. Now, if Chris can hold him there, he can use Mike as a pick and go on around and keep that position. Really good battle. Chuck pulls in right behind Chris and decides to stay single file again. You don't want to battle too hard this early. Still got a good ways to go on these tires.
Justin
give our
and Tyler back on the track.
yeah. So how are they? Where are they? It looks like Justin seventh, Tyler eighth, and Gary's ninth.
Yep.
Okay. So
Gary's
again, they
sitting 2
gained a little
laps
bit.
down currently. I don't know. He must have been a little bit further behind.
Yeah, I think Gary should probably, Gary, if you look at it, ninth, he's right behind Jonathan right now. So he should be able to get his lap back here shortly. I'm sure Jonathan's going to just probably let him go here in just a minute. But when you start looking at these other guys, that's a lap down. Um, Justin's about a half a track behind Jonathan. So it's really going to be tough for him to get that lap back before this race is over. Not saying he can't do it, but he's almost exactly a half lap behind as Gary just got one of his laps back. But Justin could benefit from a caution now because he would be the lucky dog. He could come around, catch the field, still pit, and restart in seventh place. So I think he's in really good shape right now. But we're seeing like BJ Hall is in sixth place. He's probably going to go a lap down eventually. So he's going to have to make sure that he can get around BJ Hall at some point when Jonathan does, or that could be some bad timing for him.
Yeah.
We watched Chris Simon go below his teammate Mike Leftwich, and Chuck Sweeting, I think, thought about going high. Then he said, no, better not.
Oh, they're making contact.
Yep, that was the contact. Mike kind of went in and scraped the wall there a little bit.
Yeah, I've been watching that for a lap or two. It looked like going down the back straightaway that lap before that Mike actually threw a block on Chuck, trying to hold him back a little bit. And I think coming down the front straightaway, Chuck might have been a little bit tired of that.
Yeah. Yep. Well, at least Mike didn't wreck, so that's a good thing. But I don't think hurt his race too much. Mike's already 10 laps down.
Jonathan sitting up here with almost a 9-second lead on cruise control, saying, let's just get to the end of this and no caution.
Yeah, he is. He is for sure. As Justin's saying, okay, I got to get around these two guys, and I got to make my way. Looks like they're both going to give him plenty of room. He's going to make that pass, and as you stay still in the seventh position here.
Wondering if BJ Hall didn't take 2 tires instead of 4 to pit and stay on the lead lap. Or you said he passed Jennings back, didn't you?
No, BJ, actually it's Clay Wood. I don't think BJ hasn't pitted but one time.
Okay.
Jennings, I believe, Clay Wood has pitted with the other, so he's also on that 2-stop strategy. Last time we checked in, Jonathan was about a half a track ahead of Justin. That's probably went more to a third of a track now. So, still a good distance. For Justin to make up. And, at this point, we're about 26, 27 laps left in the race. So, I think Justin can probably make it to get his lap back. The question is, though, how many is Jonathan going to lap? And, I think realistically, I think Justin has probably maybe could get to BJ Hall before it's over to gain one more position, but otherwise, I think he's going to need a caution to be able to get into that top 5. Shout out to the sponsors again. Well, we got a little bit of break in the action here. Is again, we'll say Auto Pros is your full service auto center in Roxborough, North Carolina. They specialize in foreign and domestic transmission repair, but can also handle all of your everyday auto needs. ASC certified technicians are standing by to help you in your time of need. Call 336 322 3230 if you're in the Roxborough, North Carolina, and they will be glad to assist you with whatever service you need at the time. Also, want to shout out Group 6, sponsor of the Justin McMahon truck. Also, our series sponsor for the Cup Series, and also a supporting sponsor for our Gen 4 series and our truck series. Rev up your brand's potential with Group 6 at every turn of the Doghouse racing season. As your creative marketing powerhouse, we're here to fuel your success, accelerate your impact, and steer your brand towards victory. Group 6, where every race is an opportunity to outshine and outperform. Discover more at group6inc.com. Also, a shout out to Shoney's, one of our longtime sponsors. If you're in the Shoney's area, stop by, especially the West Virginia area, and try yourself the breakfast buffet or go grab you a strawberry pie. Shoney's is, I really miss it down here in the Mobile area. They're no longer here. Wish they were, but they're not. So if you get by one, I know if I do, I'll definitely be stopping in.
Yeah, I wish we still had Shoney's here. I miss Shoney's, especially Shoney's breakfast.
Yeah, it was good. So Justin now has got around Jason Ross. So he's probably about 10 seconds behind Jonathan. As Jonathan's crossing start and finish line. Justin's in turn 3, so that kind of tells you where they are in comparison on the track as far as getting that lap back. P2 is behind Justin, so you can just tell that's just how big of a gap Jonathan has on Jason Ross. But Christopher Simon is closing that gap on Jason Ross pretty significant, along with Chuck Sweeting. Christopher Simon is cut down about 1 second from Jason Ross at this point. So we're going to have a battle here shortly for the second position, and Chuck Sweeting is right behind Simon. So what I said would be for the last podium position. Looks like Jason Ross is about to be in the battle for the last podium position here.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering if he was overworking his tires a little bit when he come out after that last stop. He had hit the fastest lap of the race and was turning some fast laps there for a few laps, and we'll see. We'll see what the end of this race. 19 laps to go, long ways. Yeah, Simon's got to save his tires and have saved his tires just like Ross. So see how it plays out here at the end.
Yeah, right now you got Simon and Sweeting's got up 2/10 faster than Ross, and then you've got Jonathan Jennings, which is about 2/10 faster than Sweeting and Simon. So that's kind of where we're at as far as the time goes. Justin, his last lap was a 31 flat, right at, to where Jonathan's a 31.2. So really, there's only even the guys that stopped in that two-stop strategy. They're only really at this point about 2 to 3/10 of a second faster than the leader. So it's going to be really hard for Justin to run down Jonathan, even though he does have clean track right now, as Jonathan is really starting to move in on BJ Hall and the 199 truck to possibly lap 6th place. Justin is running about 6 to 7 tenths a lot faster than the 199 truck. So I do think that Justin still has a good chance and to take over that position. But I also think that if you look at Tyler Millette, there's a possibility he could maybe get there too, but it'll be a little more difficult as he's definitely further behind than that. So we'll see, where it all shakes out here over the next, as we're, only have about 14 laps to go.
Yeah, laps are ticking away quickly now. Not a bad rebound for Steve Gerber from earlier. If you remember, we seen him and Chris kind of make a little contact and go through the grass a little bit. He's back up to the 5th position, so a nice rebound for him.
Yeah, he had dropped back to 10th. So yeah, he's battled back for a top 5 spot. So really good recovery for Steve. Now he's gonna possibly on the borderline of going a lap down. I think he has a chance of staying on the lead lap. We'll see. He's currently 28 seconds behind the leader, and the leader's running around a 32-second lap. So he's we'll see kind of where it all shakes out. His times are pretty close to Jonathan's right now. So let's see kind of where it goes. But I think Steve should, well, unless there's something happens here pretty significant, like a caution or something else, he should be able to wind up in that 5th position. But our battle on the track is definitely heating up for this 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, as Jason Ross just kind of got into the wall a little bit, actually, trying to hold that position with Christopher Simon. And Simon is doing everything he can to find a way around Jason, but hasn't, it's one thing catching them, but then you get in that dirty air, it can be another thing to get around them.
Yeah, and we come to the end of the race, nobody's just going to give a position up, so it's going to be a battle for the next 10 laps, I think, for this 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place.
Yeah, I think Chris might have him here. Now Chuck also may get him right here off this corner as well. All right, so now here's Christopher Simon moving into 2nd place, and Chuck Sweeting in 3rd.
It was like Simon was able to get around Ross and extend that gap between him and Chuck again by just a little bit, so it gives him a little breathing room for these next 9 laps to hopefully get that 2nd place.
Yeah, he's got clean air at this point, and Chuck doesn't. That's going to definitely benefit him. Now they do have Tyler Millette kind of easing in on him. Of course, he's a lap down to them. I don't see him probably getting too much into this battle up here. I don't think he's got the time to get up there and, get past them and, gain really anything significant out of this unless he sees BJ Hall and the 199 has fallen off enough, as he's, of course, went 1 lap down. So, really, I don't think Tyler's going to get too much into this here. I think it's just going to be between these 3 to figure out who's 2nd and 3rd. I think Simon's got a good shot at 2nd, just the way just seems like his truck is pretty stable right now.
Yeah, he's looking real good. I think 2nd place. Probably your 1st, 2nd, 3rd will be how they are now. We'll see. Jennings is starting to reel in fifth place to Steve Gerber. Might end up lapping him before the end of the race. We'll see. Notice the last couple of laps, a lot of drivers, including your leader, has been catching the wall a little bit, seeing those sparks shoot up.
Yeah, these I think they're starting to really push a little bit, and these guys, some of these guys' tires, especially the ones with one pit stop, I mean, they're approaching 50 laps on these tires, so definitely, I am sure they are worn out, and they definitely ready for this race to get over.
Jennings is quickly catching Gerber, so I think he may end up going a lap down before the race is over.
Yeah, I think Jonathan's to the point, though. I'm sure he's got a big enough lead that I don't think he'll push too hard to get around him if Gerber tries to give up a little fight just to try to stay on that lead lap in case something happens. And we've got Justin is definitely catching the 198, 199 truck. I don't know if he's going to get there, but it's going to be, he's definitely faster than him. I mean, he's running 3.5 tenths a lap faster. So he's definitely got a chance of getting to him. But if he does, it's going to be the last lap to see if he can get that sixth position. But if a caution does come out, unfortunately, Justin would have to take the wave around and be on the older tires. So, I think at this point, Justin just wants it to stay out. It looks like he scraped the wall a little bit right there.
Mm-hmm. I think that wall keeps just jumping out and grabbing them, because that's about where everybody is hitting it. Yeah, last lap for Jonathan Jennings. He takes the white flag, so there will be no caution. The race is official at this point.
Yep, one lap to go. It's like Simon has a good lead for third place, but looks like Jason Ross is gonna fight. It looks like Jason Ross is gonna wind up actually getting third. I'm not sure why, but what happened there to Chuck? But see, they'll fight back. But Jonathan Jennings takes the checkered flag, and Christopher Simon second, and Jason Ross came back and finished third. Chuck Sweeting in fourth.
Steve Gerber is going to bring it home in fifth, with BJ Hall in sixth. Justin McMahon brings it in seventh. Tyler Millette eighth. Another good run by Gary Armijo coming home in ninth. Clay Wood around out your top 10.
So definitely another dominant race for Jonathan Jennings. Good run for Christopher Simon. A really good run. And really, happy we went to green flags, to be honest. So green flag all the way, no cautions. Um,
Yep. I think this might be the first race this season without a caution in the trucks, if I'm not mistaken. So,
I think it is. Once these guys got strung out, I mean, there really wasn't, you know, there was a couple moments where some guys touched, nothing, too big. There was a couple that was, which Chris Leftwich was wound up off the track. We had, Mike just got loose and hit the wall, which really burned his night from the beginning as he fell back 10 laps down, of course. But really, besides that, they're really, once they got strung out, there was really nowhere for a caution to be, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I tell you, it was a really good battle for second, third, and fourth, though, as I see these guys have made it to the waiting room.
Yep. Well, we'll go ahead and pull up our race winner, Jonathan Jennings. Jonathan, is Jamie and Danny, you got us?
Yeah, I got you.
Congrats on another win. Yeah, you kind of sound like I did last week. I was a little sick there.
Yeah, I'm struggling. That's why I didn't make it Thursday. Doing my best to just sit here and finish this one. I'm sweating like a, well, I ain't gonna say what I was gonna do.
Well, I hate to hear that. I had it the week before, so I know what you're going through. But congrats on the win, and we won't hold you up too long since you don't feel good. But want to know how tire wear was tonight.
Not too bad. I'm just trying to manage and keep my track position was the main thing, because it's easy to overdrive when you're trying to pass somebody, and wanted to maintain that spot and keep clean air and get in a rhythm. There was no saving the right front and be fast, so I just had to do the, fast as I could go without killing it.
Yeah. What about that? I mean, was you committed when you started to just you're going to do the one stop only? Of course, barring cautions and all that, but was that kind of what you thought about doing from the beginning?
If it stayed green, yeah, because you lose a lot of time. This ain't even quite a mile and a half, but you lose a lap and a half, I think. And very easy when you go on a strategy like that to get too excited and burn them up, and then you kind of even off with the guys that stayed out, and you're kind of screwed. So went the safe route, and we got the points, and it worked out.
Yeah, no, for sure. So definitely, I don't want to hold you up too long. Got any shout outs real quick?
Yeah, you guys for the broadcast, all the admins for putting this stuff together, teammates, and all the series sponsors, all the pros, I believe, for this one. Shoney's, Grip Fits, Trackside, NASCAR Outlet, whoever helps the league out. Thank all of them.
All right. Well, I hope you get to feeling better, man, and hopefully in time to see you Tuesday on the track. But have a good evening and congratulations again.
Thank you.
Right, that's first place finisher under the weather and still brought it home in first. Let's bring up our second place finisher of Christopher Simon. Chris, Jamie, and Daniel, you got us?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, a good run tonight. Looked like you and Chuck had a good battle there for a while for who was going to get this second place position. Just want to congratulate you on that and find out what tire wear was like for you tonight.
I said tire wear was pretty manageable. I wasn't taking it too hard on the throttle there, just easing it up in the throttle, like just lifting and just like get it going at a straight angle and then like going through with the throttle. It wasn't too bad to manage in this race.
Yeah, man. So you had some fans in the chat tonight. I think they're happy for your podium position.
Yeah,
You made them really happy. Sounds like a
yeah,
Mother's Day present, maybe.
yeah. My family's watching the broadcast right now, so they kind of wanted me to get at least a podium to get an interview with you guys. So I got their wish.
Oh, you ran a really good race, man. And we had kind of, at the beginning, I thought you may be one of the ones that, would be a little bit better on tire wear. And that's kind of what it looked like, at the end. When you were first, you and Chuck was battling it out there, and then you were still a ways back from Jason Ross. But did you realize at that time you had the pace to catch the 00?
Yeah, I realized like later on in the run, I was able to save more tires than the 00, and I was managing to gain on them every few laps or so. So though I also was managing to like try to get the 75 behind me as well because I was just looking back because I saw him gaining on me as well. But we had a good battle there. I got past my teammate Mike Leftwich, and then I just kept going, and then I was able to gain on the 00 coming to closing laps, and I got the pass on him, which was an amazing pass, by the way. It was a really intense going free wide with the 75 and the 00.
Yeah, it was good to watch. I mean, that gave us our entertainment for the race. I'll be honest, Jonathan was so far out, but y'all three coming to the end to see who would wind up on the podium. It was really fun to watch. So, again, congratulations. Got any shout outs?
Of course, shout out to you guys for the broadcast. You guys do an amazing job. I try to watch every time after the race and all when I have free time to look at it. Shout out to the sponsors of the series. It's like they do amazing sponsoring this league. It's always fun racing on days I can. And also shout out to my family watching. They always watched in every broadcast. So shout out to them, and shout out to my mom watching because it's Mother's Day, and also shout out to the mothers out there as well for the Mother's Day. Oh, and
Awesome.
shout out to my teammates as well, Jennings, Chris, and Mike. Always fun to race with them.
Awesome. Shoney's really having a really good season in all series. Well, man, congrats again. We'll let you get on with your night, and we'll see you on the track coming up, I guess, this week, Tuesday, hopefully.
Yeah, I'll be there.
All right, sounds good.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Have a good night.
You too.
All right. That was your second place finisher, Christopher Simon. We're going to bring up third place, Jason Ross. Jason, is Jamie and Daniel in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Jason, so look, you got you a podium, man. I know it didn't look good until the last couple of laps on getting it, but man, you had a really strong run. How was your truck tonight?
It was really good. My first ever Doghouse podium, so I will take it. Yeah, for some reason Nashville fit my driving style. I somehow figured it out, and it seemed to be fast. So, yeah, they were definitely catching me on that second run. But I don't know what happened with Sweeney there at the end, but I was able to get him past him for a third place finish. So.
Yeah, I was telling
so-
Daniel earlier that this season we've seen good bit of improvement. So it wasn't a shock to see you running up front. You've been getting closer and closer to getting one of these podium finishes. So we're glad to see you finally get it done and get up here with us.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a lot of fun trying to get better. I like the trucks a lot because it's a lot of rolling into the corner and right back into the gas. It's a lot different than the Gen 4 cars where you're always checking with the throttle. But I've gotten a little better each and every time. So if I'm a tenth or a tenth and a half off of Jamie or Jonathan, I will take that as a win most of the time. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, just don't take any
definitely.
advice from that 33 K-Doggy guy. No, I'm just kidding.
Obviously, Kevin is what got me into this league, so I always am like, as long as I beat Kevin, that's always the main goal.
Well, he's watching, so he's listening to you. Well, good. So again, man, congratulations. It's good to see you on the podium again. Awesome season so far as really progressing, and I'm sure you're just going to get better as the season goes. You got any shout outs tonight?
Just shout out to my parents who are watching, and just shout out to my family.
Sounds great. All right, man. We'll let you get on with your night. And again, congratulations, and look forward to seeing you next race.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Right, Daniel, that's going to round out our top 3 finishers for the evening.
Yeah, and so we're off for 3 weeks. Long break here. Again, we've got, you know, try to work this around people's Sundays as much as possible. So we've got, we're not far off from Memorial Day, and so we're just going to take a 3 week break, and then we'll get back in it as we get into June. So we'll see what some of these guys decide, if they make any adjustments, do a little extra practicing, and get ready for when we come back. But again, we're going to go into this break with Jonathan Jennings with a massive points lead. And the race for second and third is probably just got tighter after tonight. So I think we're shaping up for a fun rest of the season.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Daniel.
All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up here. And we hope everybody, all the moms out there, had a great Mother's Day. And we want to thank everyone for watching our broadcast. We really do ask you if you could subscribe to our channel. And if you know friends and family, please have them subscribe. If you like and subscribe, it really helps us out tremendously here on the channel as we continue to try to grow. And until 3 weeks from now, well, actually maybe Thursday night. We're kind of figuring out Thursday night yet, but definitely be tuning out to Doghouse Racing TV. In fact, 2 weeks from this Thursday, or from this past Thursday, we'll have a 300-mile race in the Cup Series on Doghouse Racing TV at Charlotte. So we're going to do our 50% run of the Coke 600. So that'll be interesting to watch. So hopefully a lot of our viewers will come back in for that one. But for Jamie Horn and Daniel Wilkerson, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.